There are two main practices which there are about showering and having a bath during the 9 days. The Shulchan Aruch writes there are some who refrain from Rosh Chodesh, that they don't take showers, they don't bath themselves until Tisha B'Av. Second opinion he brings, that it's only on the week of Tisha B'Av, on the week which Tisha B'Av falls on. Originally, the custom was amongst many Sephardi communities, and the Mordechai confirms this, that they didn't bath or shower from Rosh Chodesh. However, today we become much more sensitive. The frequency which we shower all year round is much more frequent than in the past, and therefore today, because of the sensitivity, because we become more sensitive, then the mainstream of taking on the custom that only on the week which Tisha B'Av falls on is a restriction of not showering or bathing. Now the second question would be, does this restriction apply only to hot water, or do we say even showering would be, even in cold water, there would be a restriction? So this became a big machloket between the Trumat HaDeshen and the Ramban, the Ran, many Rishonim. There are many who hold that the whole restriction is from bathing in hot water. But if you do it in cold water, even on the week on Tisha B'Av, then one may do in cold water. However, there are customs, and the Mordechai confirms this too, that their minhag is even in cold water not to shower on the week of Tisha B'Av. Now, I fully understand that people may find it very hard this, and make no mistake, the custom and practice comes in order to feel a little bit uncomfortable. So it's not coming to not disturb you what you're usually accustomed to. So this excuse that we can't, and this doesn't, it's not really valid, because the idea is to go through a little bit of uncomfort before Tisha B'Av. Whoever tells you otherwise is actually defeated the reason why you mustn't shower or you mustn't bath before. And this is Dina de Gemara is brought on the week of Tisha B'Av. Just the question is whether it's hot or cold water. So let me give you the consensus and the Halacha about what we should be following. So the restriction starts only after Shabbat. So we haven't got the issue of Erev Shabbat Chazon. There are communities amongst Ashkenazim who are already particular from Rosh Chodesh, so they have certain restrictions and limits of how to do things. From on the Shavuot, on the week of Tisha B'Av, people should refrain from having showers and baths. However, if a person felt dirty, he feels that he's got certain areas in his body which are unclean, then he may wash himself preferably in cold water if he's able to do so, as according to many, if you don't do it in warm, you're actually not transgressing the custom. So if he's very dirty and he's got certain areas which are dirty and he needs to clean them, and if you clean them in cold water they won't get clean, then obviously you're allowed to use hot water, because this is already not rechitza shel ta'anug. It's not for enjoyment, it's to get rid of dirt which a person has on him. However, if to have showers just to feel more comfortable, that's not an excuse on the week of Tisha B'Av. So you have to feel dirty. I once told someone who was accustomed to showering every day, I told him, look, for you, do it once every 2 days and in cold water. Because like this, at least you're following the opinions, you're following on the mainstream, which hold that the restriction is only on hot water. So that's it. About going to swim during these days, then we have to, yes, it is brought down in halachic authorities that they used to have places where people would swim even on the 9 days. Swimming was for a different purpose then. Nowadays we're able to get the same effect of cleansing ourselves just by going into a cold shower equally. To go into a swimming pool in these days, it has an element of fun to it, of happiness, and therefore people should refrain from going to swimming pools all through the 9 days. unless they're going to learn how to swim or unless the doctors have told him that he needs for health reasons, then that's different. Then going into a cold pool will be able to allow it. But if a person wants to do it as a substitute, wants to have more fun, then swimming pools should not be used from Rosh Chodesh until after the fast.